carrying a double oven unit. Ours has gone the blink. Doesn't fit in the boot. It would fit in the boot, but where the seats fold down, they're so high up, it's about that much off. So it's hanging out the boot. I didn't bring a strap with me. Didn't really think of it, to be honest. So the boot just slung open. It's about 85% in the car, so it should be okay. Well, we've got that steep hill to go up. Probably about level it out and slide at the back. Hope not, it's a small fortune. So, but loads of stuff fits in this boot. That's one thing to say about it. It's a big boot. It's a shame you can't just easily remove the seats because you get even more room then. I mean, I'm getting into work on 93% battery. That's what I was getting when the car was new. It's 44,698 miles. And it's still doing that. It's still getting me there on the same percentage. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? More or less an unrecognisable degradation in the battery. It's the same. 45,000 miles on. So it's, yeah, pretty amazing, really. Just suddenly occurred to me this morning. You'd expect to see a drop off, wouldn't you? I would have thought. But obviously not within 45,000 miles anyway. Ooh, there it is. Thought it was cold. Low temperature. 3 degrees. First one since summer. 2 degrees. And we had some ice. And that wasn't me burping, the dog. And I'd actually remembered to turn off the wiper before it damaged it with the stuck ice. Oh, lovely. What's the temperature anyway? 2 degrees. Low temp outside. Not inside. 0 degrees. Brrrrrrr. First time since after summer. Ooh, -1. Wow. Okay. Ooh, it's bright. I can't see. Today I am going to have a look at an electric trials bike. Yes, you heard me right. It's about an hour and 1 minute away, apparently, according to this. 37.5 miles. So you'd think I'd be able to get there and back. But there is some motorway in there, so I think I'm going to actually intentionally go really slow. And as you can tell by the breath, I'm actually, I haven't got the heating on or anything. So we'll see how that goes. So that'll be a little bit of an interesting thing. Don't know if I'll get it. It's a used one. Someone's selling it. Don't know if I'll actually get it. It's quite expensive, really. In comparison to petrol versions, same problem, really. You get the petrol versions for a couple of grand, and this one's about double that. It's about 4K. And new, I think they're about 10 grand, something like that. It's only a year old or something. Just slightly over a year old. So, yeah. Anyway, I shall see how it goes. One thing I did miss was that I'd done 45,000 miles 96 miles ago. So 45,096 miles. Okay, well, I got it anyway. Less price than originally because you had two, and this one was not a colour I liked. Didn't think colour would come into it, to be honest, but it does. So we'll work out where I'm coming from. There we are. It did in this instance. But the other one, the reason I didn't go for the other one was that it just didn't ride right at all. It was really, really down on power. And I wasn't going to gamble that sort of money. It's just the bearings. Apparently there's a set of bearings, if you don't oil them, they're not sealed. Don't work properly. So anyway, long story short, got it. So, whoo, another electric vehicle. Not one that anyone would really expect you to have, but it's an electric trials bike. If anyone's interested, Electric Motion, EM 5.7 is what it is. If you want to look it up. A lithium polymer battery is in it. So there we go. Bye. Okay, I've got 31 8% left, 25 miles on the GOM, which isn't accurate. I've literally just come onto the motorway. So this is going to be another interesting one. I got 13 miles to my destination, so I should do it, shouldn't I? 13 miles to destination with 31% battery. Gotta be possible. Okay, gone into the low battery level now. 14 miles. So what percentage we got? 19%. According to this, another 5.3 miles to go. Very low battery charge. Well, would you believe it? The good news is, oh, that creaking noise. The good news is, we are about 250 meters away. Whee! So, that's all good. All good. 8% remaining. Can't tell on the GOM because dash, dash, dash. Excellent. That's one adventure over. Apologies for the crackling. It's a phone holder making a creaking noise. Okay, and where I actually got the charge from was my parents' house, and I've had to leave to go to a parents' evening, and this is where I'm at the moment. I am at 8%, and I'm at the foot of our long, long hill. So I only managed to get to 29% charge. So yeah, and with the dog in the car, it's all fogged up. So I can't have the heating on still. So up I go, 7%. Hopefully I'll make it. I've got all the windows open. And it's 6 degrees. And 6%. Yay! I'm just gonna get home, hopefully. The annoying thing is, if you can hear me, he's got football tonight, which is in Lydney. And I'm not going to have enough charge by the time it's time to leave, which is in 30 minutes, which is a shame. Ah, there we go. We've got dashes. Dashes, dashes, dashes. Good morning. Well, 3 degrees, and used the defrost this morning with the preheat. Lovely. A nice warm car to get into. Did forget, however, that when it's plugged in, it doesn't run for just 15 minutes. It runs and runs and runs. So, yeah, set it probably 30 minutes before I left, and suddenly realised. But there we are. Anyway, that's a way to burn up some electricity. But I watched Fully Charged yesterday in a Hyundai with a name I can't really pronounce, but a Hyundai fully electric car is out with a, I think he said, a 28 kilowatt hour battery. Will do about 130, 140 miles. And I looked at the pricing of it, and it's about 20, the cheapest version is 23k plus VAT, I think it is. But before government grant, from what I can see in the price list. So that is around about 23 grand, isn't it? So, yeah, it's about the VAT part of it is almost what you get back with the government grant. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I was just thinking that on the way this morning, the trip I did yesterday, where I went out, got to the destination for the bike at about 53%, something like that, and then had to come back. Luckily, I was going to my parents' place because I wouldn't have got back home with the amount of charge I had. Not quite, it would have been close, because theirs was slightly closer. And then I went from there, could only charge, because there was a parents' evening at school, could only charge to 29%. By the time I got back home and shoved it straight on charge, the 30 minutes charging wasn't enough to get me 9 miles. And Toby's football is about 8.5 miles away, and obviously need to get back again. So I had to leave it on charge, and then I had to go in Amy's car to football, so I had to burn diesel all the way there. Yeah, and then she was able to use it to go out later that evening, should I say, because by the time I got back she had to go straight out, but the hour and 45 minutes we'd gone out was enough charge to get to where she wanted to go, which is about 6 miles away. And then she charged it at 5 Acres Garage, because they've got a 7 kilowatt hour charger on there with a lead already connected. So you literally roll in and just plug it in, and that's open in the evening. So, and then she left it on charge while she was there for 2 hours, and then she had plenty to get back. point I'm making is that these increased ranges we're starting to see now on almost loads of manufacturers, isn't there now, that are producing these cars. You've got BMW, you've got Nissan, you've got Renault, now you've got Hyundai. There's probably others I haven't listed. And a lot of those are now going into the bracket, especially with the newer Leaf. You're in the plus 100 miles. And 130 to 140 miles yesterday would have done the trip out, the trip back, if it fitted in the car, if it's got a bigger boot. And then it would have done all the other trips in between as well. Couldn't have plugged it in at 5 acres, of course, and probably wouldn't, because it would be a Hyundai, not a Nissan. So it just seems a bit cheeky, but it's got a different connector anyway, I think. Don't know anything about it apart from what I saw last night. So if you haven't seen that, check out fully charged video on the Hyundai, because it looks a decent car. I mean, I say looks, as in spec, performance-wise, it looks a decent car. I'm not sure about the rear end of it, or the front end, or the side, but it looks like a decent performing car with a lot of rich features in there. So yeah, that's another one to consider if the Tesla Model 3 turns out to be something that it isn't, and turns out to be expensive, and turns out to be really late, and a multitude of things that could possibly go wrong. Hyundai is there, it is available right now. If I wanted to buy one, I could get a car that's 130 to 140 miles in real life, which is a substantial increase on the 85, 90 I'm getting now. So that is brilliant. I mean, if all else failed now, I'd probably go for the Hyundai. I don't like Hyundai. I can't get another Leaf because I've already had one. I'm going to do another blog on the next car I get. Just continue this blog, essentially. And so I don't want to be just getting another Leaf and just carry on saying, oh, this is a Leaf, yeah, this is normal. That'd be good to have something fresh. But that, I would, yeah, if that was now, between the Zoe and that, I would probably go for the Hyundai, even though the new Zoe's got far more miles available. Yeah, but that's an option at the moment. I'm sure something else is going to come along in the next year and 1 month. I'm sure something else. What's it going to be? It'd be nice if it was a 200 miler, but there we are. Anyway, go and watch it if you haven't seen it. Interesting.